So guys, now we will be seeing temporal lobe. So by now you are well versed with the brain, okay? So again, I am going to ask you the same thing. When you draw the brain, which is the first structure that you need to identify? That is central sulcus. Central sulcus. And which is the second most important structure? That is your this lateral sulcus or Sylvian fissure. Sylvian fissure. Okay. These are the two most important structures that you need to identify, which help you recognize frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe. And in the last, there is occipital lobe. Fine? Understood? So, we have covered frontal lobe, we have covered parietal lobe. Now we will be talking about this area, this temporal lobe. Okay? And a lot of temporal lobe we have already covered. Lot of temporal lobe we have already covered. Now you will ask how. The medial part of the temporal lobe. You understand now? This you understand? We are talking about the temporal lobe as seen on the outside. But the medial part, the inside part of the temporal lobe, you have covered where? The limbic system. Limbic system is where? In the medial temporal lobe. Okay? Okay, hippocampus, amygdala, etc. They were in the medial temporal lobe. So we are seeing the temporal lobe as seen on the superolateral surface. Fine. So as we go in every lectures, anatomy, various functions of the various areas, and what happens if disorder is there. Understood? Great. So anatomy of temporal lobe. See, temporal lobe is a bit complex structure. We will try to simplify it. Okay. In every lecture, I was first drawing the structure and then telling you the functions. Here, I am going in a different way so that you know that the things are complex, but then we are making it crisp. Okay. Temporal lobe. Temporal lobe has three surfaces. Again, the superolateral surface that we see on the outside, then the medial surface that we see on the inside, and then the basal surface or the inferior surface. Like inferior surface we had seen in the frontal lobe. On the superolateral surface, the main thing we need to identify is the Wernicke area. Wernicke area. Then we need to identify the Heschl Gyrus. Heschl Gyrus is what? It is the primary auditory cortex. It will currently it will bounce away from your head. Just keep writing. I will make you learn and understand. Okay. So on superolateral surface, Wernicke area and Heschl Gyrus, these are the two most important things that we need to identify. On the medial surface, inside surface, we have already seen what is their limbic system. So all the parts of the limbic system, hippocampus, amygdala, thalamus, hypothalamus, etc., we have seen they were where? They were in the medial part of the temporal lobe. Then comes the inferior part or the basal part of the temporal lobe. In the basal part of the temporal lobe, you need to identify fusiform gyrus. Fusiform gyrus has an area known as the fusiform area. Fusiform facial area. Okay. And this fusiform gyrus is separated from the parahippocampal gyrus by collateral sulcus. Collateral sulcus. Currently, this is all jargon for you, but write it once, then we will understand. We know that what all areas we have to see. So we have to see Wernicke area, we have to see the primary auditory cortex, and there is auditory association areas as well, which we can see. We have to see limbic system, that we have already seen. So we will not be seeing in this lecture. Fusiform gyrus, parahippocampal gyrus, and collateral sulcus. Parahippocampal gyrus is not the part. Just I am telling you that fusiform gyrus is the part of temporal lobe. Then it is separated from the parahippocampal gyrus. See, two gyrus are there. They do not merge in themselves. So there is a separation. Separation the separation is known as the collateral sulcus. Okay, so these are the areas which we need to identify. Okay, so now we will draw the diagram and understand. So this was the brain that we are aware of. Okay, central sulcus, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, then comes the occipital lobe, and the remaining this area is what? This area is your temporal lobe. This area is your temporal lobe. So first you have to identify that there is a superior temporal sulcus and inferior temporal sulcus. Okay, superior temporal sulcus and inferior temporal sulcus, which creates what? Which creates superior temporal gyrus, middle temporal gyrus, and inferior temporal gyrus. These are the main areas, and you know this line is what? This is your Sylvian fissure. Sylvian fissure. This is your Sylvian fissure. Okay. Now, first structure that we have to identify is the Wernicke area. Wernicke area is present in the superior temporal gyrus. So, it is present here. The Wernicke area is present in the superior temporal gyrus. Just remember this. Wernicke area is Brodmann area 22. It is located in superior temporal gyrus, as you can see. Okay, superior temporal gyrus. Then comes the auditory cortex. Then comes the auditory cortex. This is this auditory cortex that I primary auditory cortex. So we need to identify the primary auditory cortex. So primary auditory cortex. Primary auditory cortex. Okay, primary auditory cortex is located in the Heschl Gyrus. Heschl Gyrus. Just remember Heschl Gyrus. You need not identify the locations and all. Just remember primary auditory cortex is located in the Heschl Gyrus. What is the Brodmann area? Brodmann area is 41 and 42. 41 and 42. So we have seen two things. The main things, Wernicke area and primary auditory cortex. Then with the primary auditory cortex, there is auditory association areas. Okay, that are also there. Association areas are supporting areas for the primary auditory cortex. Okay, understood? Understood? Then this is the superolateral surface which we have done. Okay, now medial surface we won't see. Limbic system we have already seen. Now coming to your inferior surface. See, inferior surface is like this. I was showing you this. This is the brain. Okay, where are we discussing? Now we are discussing this part, basically this part. We discussed this part is the frontal lobe, parietal lobe. Now we are discussing this part, the temporal lobe. See now, and this part ka inferior surface we are talking. Okay, on the inferior surface, just remember, you need not identify on the diagrams, because then it will become very complex for you, and I want to make things easier. Okay, on the inferior surface there is one area, that is the fusiform gyrus. Fusiform gyrus has what? Fusiform face area. Okay, but you have to remember that this fusiform gyrus, this is separated with another gyrus which is known as the parahippocampal gyrus. Okay, parahippocampal gyrus, and the structure which is separating these two is the collateral sulcus. Collateral sulcus. So if you want, you can see the diagrams on the internet, but then you have to see the 3D diagrams to understand these things, because if you don't see the 3D diagrams, then you will not be able to understand. Okay, fusiform face area, this has a very important very interesting function. The function is that it helps us to identify faces and distinguish between faces. A lot of time it happens that you see someone after a long time and then you remember, oh, I've seen him or her somewhere. because this fusiform face area, it remembers that it has that memory. The memory of phases is there in the fusiform face area. You might not recall his name, but you recall his face. So this is because of the fusiform face area. Also, distinguish between faces. Different faces are like, you know, how your father looks, how your mother looks, how your brother looks. Different faces because of this fusiform face area. Okay, got it? Got it? Fine. Just one thing more, that if someone asks you what is the function of the temporal lobe, mota function that you can remember is, see, it will help us in auditory information processing. Okay, basically, so its main function will be hearing and speech and language. Hearing, speech, language. Okay, hearing, speech, language. Also, I told you that visual recognition, fusiform face area, visual recognition is one of the main features. Okay,